Make it
Perfect. What's up, everyone? This is Jason Tucker. This is WPwatercooler. This is episode number 195. Folks, 5 more until 200. Crazy. Today's topic, we're going to be discussing WordCamp Orange County 2016. Doing a little recap of it. We got a couple people on here who have done things
and stuff.
Yeah.
For it, stuff. With things we're around.
Let's go around the room real quick. Brandon Dove, tell us all about yourself.
Hey, I'm Brandon Dove. I'm a developer for WordPress. We build custom themes at PixelJar and implement solutions for WordPress.
Is there a meetup tonight?
There is a developer meetup at Crash Labs in Costa Mesa. Thanks, Steve.
Awesome. Nice. Dave, what about you?
I'm Dave Margowsky. I'm a freelance project manager, and I was the lead organizer for WordCamp Orange County 2016.
Rub it in. Awesome. Priscilla, what about you?
I'm Priscilla Christian of Priscilla Christian Graphic Services. I was the volunteer organizer for WordCamp Orange County 2016 and organized a team of awesome volunteers.
Yay, volunteer wranglers.
They were awesome.
What about you, Robert?
I'm Robert Gillmer, founder of Shiny9 Web Design. I build stuff with WordPress. And I occasionally win contests, apparently. I'm as surprised as you are.
Oh, man.
We'll
Russ,
get into it.
what about you?
I'm Russ. I work at WebDev Studios and Maintain.com, and apparently I come in second place in contests, and I just found out as well.
How about you, Sarah?
Ding.
Sarah.
She's just going to stare into the camera.
Frozen.
Kind of awesome.
It really is.
Sarah.
It caught me.
I think this part of the show we just read tweets from Orange County that Sarah put out.
Actually, that's a great photo of her right there. Somebody get that as a still.
I'm sorry, fault, and I was the PR person.
Sarah did social media and Snapchatted and was the queen of all of those things.
Nice.
For 2016.
Oh, she's trying to get in again.
What about you, Steve?
I am Steve Zehngut. I'm the founder of Zeek Interactive, and I run the OC WordPress meetup, and I was in charge of sponsors.
Awesome. I'm Jason Tucker. Find me over at Jason Tucker on Twitter and jasontucker.us.
How about Say?
Yeah.
How about Sarah and Say?
Say?
Okay. I'm just saying it out. No big deal.
You just skipped her.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. I'm really not noticeable usually. I'm shy and retiring.
She was quiet for those 3 seconds. So
I know it's rare. That's rare.
I got all my talking out this weekend.
I was going to say, hopefully you saw Say on Facebook Live and stuff, so she needs no introduction. That's how she rolls.
Yeah, I'm just here. But I am Say, Reed, and I make WordPress, teach WordPress, love WordPress, preach WordPress, at Say Reed Media on all the things.
Nice. Sarah, you around?
Hi.
Moving. Yes.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Sarah Wefald. I'm the production manager at Zeek Interactive, and I did the social media at Orange County's WordCamp.
Nice.
And an awesome
excellent job of that, too.
I love the Snapchat. I like to filter.
Nice.
True facts. True facts.
So where do you guys want to begin? What do you think?
There was a WordCamp this weekend.
Well, Steve, what's the Wikipedia say about WordCamp? No, actually, really, to that note, though, one of my favorite moments of WordCamp Orange County, which I was was able to attend this weekend, was when Steve was doing an introduction for someone in the Nebula room, and he was like, the definition of success or something like that. I was dying. I was like, I'm glad Steve's here to define things for us.
Turns out WordCamp is a sub-definition under WordPress on Wikipedia.
Oh, he put the glasses on to make himself look extra professional.
I did.
That's how you know he's a thought leader.
Are you tapping your fingers together because you're a thought leader?
Yes, I'm a thought leader. According to WordCamps, according to Wikipedia, WordCamps are casual, locally organized conferences covering everything related to WordPress.
Wow. Hey, we did that. Good job, Dave. You met the Wikipedia.
Quote out for the day.
Nailed it, exactly. I think one of the things that makes WordCamp Orange County unique, and something that's already been propped up in the intros, is the plugin palooza situation thingy stuff. So who wants to talk about that?
That's where we're starting?
We're starting at the end.
No. Let's start with the business. The business track on Sunday was off the hook.
The middle of the end.
The middle of the end.
Why don't we start at the beginning?
All right, we can do that too.
So Steve just wants to talk about the golf tournament.
Yes,
absolutely. That's exactly where I want to start. So kudos to Brandon, because our annual golf tournament has become one of my favorite events of the year. So, Brandon, would you like to talk about the golf tournament?
Sure.
Unofficial WordCamp golf tournament?
Totally. Yeah. So we had about 20 people show up on Friday to play some golf. Super low pressure, all the way from beginners all the way to Jason Rosenbaum and Dan Cameron who can actually play golf. So, it was a little scary at times when Steve was hitting, but other than that, I think everybody had a real great time. Got out there and had some fun prizes for everybody, and just got to hang out and drive golf carts on Friday. What's wrong with that?
Dude, I gotta say again, man, that is a very well organized, great fun event. So if you have a chance to go to the golf tournament next year, do it.
Definitely.
I look forward to next year bringing the chaos by playing golf cart polo.
Okay, so I think I want to put this out there for anybody who doesn't golf. Like, you should totally come and play, because we had Margowsky out there last year, and he doesn't play golf.
That's the bar.
That's kind of an understatement.
That's the bar.
Yeah.
Jason Rosenbaum is at one end of the bar. Dave Margowsky apparently is the other.
Yeah.
And then at the very bottom is me, just Leroy Jenkinsing it.
There are quite a few Happy Gilmore quotes and many Caddyshack quotes from
Steve. Yeah, absolutely.
So Dave Margowsky, I thought with your opening remarks to Orange County, I think you are one of the best people I've seen do opening remarks in a non-suck-up kind of way, but I think you control that room very well.
Cool.
So I guess I missed a segue. I missed a segue, but we went right into Saturday.
I had something to say about Friday. I did. Wait, I want to go back to it and say it, since we've basically, I think that one of the cool things about WordCamps in general is when the local place puts a spin on it. Go figure. I'm into local stuff, but I think that's like, what's more golf? What's more Orange County than golf? I mean, nothing. Pretty much, it's like all.
How about Las
things that are not appropriate for the show?
How about Las Vegas, where there's more golf courses? I'm just saying.
That's not really what Vegas is known for,
Okay.
Anyway, point is, I think it's really cool that you guys put this unique angle onto WordCamp Orange County, and you do it on the front end with the golf tournament, on the back end with the Plug and Palooza, which we'll get there eventually. But I just think that's neat, because it's like a local experience as opposed to just like something that's more generic. So props.
Props taken.
All right, Russ, go talk about everything. I appreciate your props. Go ahead, Russ. Segue away.
I already segued. Dave, you can take it from there.
Dave, you give excellent opening remark.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much. I try very hard to make sure that we have a little something funny.
Let's pause for a minute. Let's talk about the new venue.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's a good setup.
Totally. We had a venue change this year, and my new thing is that the venue actually ends up being our 11th organizer, because it really did kind of set the tone for the event. People walked in, their eyes kind of went, oh, and the Cove space is amazing. They have an area they call the beach. We called it the Nebula for our event, and it's just got crazy screens. So we were able to have stuff like the schedule going on all the time. We had logos everywhere. We had 2 giant video screens projecting stuff.
Oh yeah, it's a techie wet dream.
What I really loved was that we had decided long ago that our theme was going to be space, and then we end up with a venue that looks like Mission Control.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, a Mission Control at a beach, just for the record.
There's a lot more than 2 mega screens. If you weren't there, you'd find pictures. There was like 100 mega screens.
Yeah.
All of
And-
which are bigger than the TV in my house.
And I
It's a
like
little extreme.
I like how NASA timed their Jupiter exploration to be in line with WordCamp. I thought
Yeah,
that
that
was
was perfect.
very big of them. That was really nice.
Steve can pull some things off sometimes.
It's true, he can.
But I like the space.
I think I'm gonna
Space
go
We had so the
Space
venue
beach.
we had 4 spaces where we had tracks going, right? So we had the Nebula room, which was the big room with all the TVs, but the horseshoe room was just as impressive, even though it was smaller. The horseshoe room was awesome.
Mhm.
There was a couch.
What was the horseshoe room called?
So not the white
The
dwarf, not the
dwarf
white
star.
dwarf.
Dwarf Star. The Dwarf Star. Well, what was cool about both those rooms is they came with live video streaming, right? We had an AV tech that came with the space, and they live video streamed both sessions. Correct? No, they did not.
Only the Nebula.
That's the Nebula with live stream.
Nebula. But I mean, the tech was equally as impressive in the.
They were both recorded.
Yeah.
So they'll both be up hopefully very soon on
live stream
WordPress.
record. I don't understand this whole technology video.
well,
I don't know.
He just shows up and he ends up on the internet. I don't know.
What I will say about the
wizard.
space and what I loved about the space, Dave, is that unlike San Diego where everything was spread across the board, everything was really together, and it made WordCamp seem like we were all together doing the same thing and not spread out.
Cool.
That's what
yeah.
we
Yeah.
loved. That's what we loved about it, is we were picking it as well.
Also, there were video games and arcade games.
There were.
So there's nothing else I need. My only complaint about the venue was that the diesel brew keg was took me a half a day to find it. So that was my only quarrel.
It was tucked behind the asteroid field.
So let's talk about the asteroid
And people
field.
kept saying that. They kept going, "Oh, it's just past the asteroid field."
So let's talk
And
about the
I was
asteroid
I don't
field
know
real
what you're
quick.
talking
Yeah, go for it,
about.
Brandon.
So the asteroid field was actually a new thing that was we tried different this year. It was an open discussion track. You guys want to talk about kind of how that went down?
That was good too.
Totally. Actually, Russ at Vegas last year did an open discussion that was, if I'm not mistaken, it was kind of an impromptu thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when we got to the new venue, we actually had a situation where we were counting seats and we were counting the number of attendees, and we wanted to make sure that everyone had something to do. So we looked at what we had spatially, and we said, let's add a discussion track, an area where we didn't want to create a conflict with one of the other rooms, and so we didn't want to have a screen involved. So, so what we did was put the discussion facing the other direction, and we said we're just going to talk about a topic, and then we're going to let people chime in. And it was all day long, just
That room was active.
What I really liked about it was that it wasn't 45 minutes. It was like an hour and a half. It was like it was a good deep dive into a specific topic to find real answers and not just say we're going to hit the spark notes on this.
Exactly.
Yep. And then back in the Comet was the workshops. Did I get that one right? The Comet?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
For
Well
the
done,
win.
Steve.
Yeah, yeah.
It's almost like you were
really innovative. And the way that you guys scaled the talks with the larger room being broader talks and then getting more specific as you scaled down the room size. So it wasn't just like, here's 2 rooms that are the same that you're choosing between. It was really felt more curated to that. So I thought that was it made it really interesting, I think. It was not just a typical thing.
There was a concern that most people were going to gravitate toward the nebula, and that's where all the people were going to be, and there was going to be nobody in the other rooms, but it was very evenly spaced most of the day.
So the nebula's gravity was not too intense.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I see what I did there?
It was
I saw what you did
not a
there.
black hole. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't want the nebula to be a black hole. I thought it was. Go right.
You laugh at her.
The black hole is behind the asteroid field.
I like the who are those people? Sponsors. The sponsors row. I thought that was good.
Sponsor hallway? Yep.
Sponsor hallway. I thought that was cool because they were all kind of the loudness that can have wasn't interfering, but you could go through there. So I thought they weren't far away, but they weren't all up in your face. I liked that.
Dave, do you want to do a shout out for the sponsors?
Yeah, let me get the list. Hang on.
If you could just give me a listicle real quick, that'd be great.
Making a
There
list
was-
with my hands.
There was definitely a lot
Yeah,
of
nice,
props
Steve.
to the sponsors on all those screens, so they definitely got visibility. That was not a problem.
I think it went well. I think last year when I did the opening talk, I think I mentioned every sponsor, and I want to say it was like 3 pages of opening. So this year I really did try to keep it concise and give them the the respect they are due without hopefully boring everybody.
It was like that scene in the movie Ted where he was rifling off names and you're like Jetpack, Bluehost, this, that.
Is it one of those names but with a Lin at the end of it?
Yes.
I feel like we need to implement like a one clap for those though, like Jetpack, done. Just then I'll drag it out.
All right, so
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
so let's talk about some of the sessions on Saturday.
All right.
Go.
Let's talk about it, Steve.
I spoke.
Yeah.
Dave
Yeah.
enjoyed it. It was fun.
The business tracks were awesome.
That was
but-
Sunday. Let's talk about Saturday.
No. The ones that were in the asteroid field. Kareem and
So Kareem talked about contracts.
Yes, Kareem talked about contracts, which
Yeah.
is very well attended and very active.
I would like to apologize to Kareem. The doors where I was speaking, they locked if they shut, so we had to prop them open. And I'm a loud guy, and I talk very loudly. So I'm pretty sure my voice funneled into his talk.
We
so I
actually
was like
did
the-
it.
It was fine. We figured it out. We taped the doors and everything was good.
Props to Jamal.
Yep.
Yeah, big props.
I liked Jason. I liked your topic a lot. I thought it was really useful. How did it go?
It went good. It went
I
really
always
good.
saw the tail end of it.
I liked it. It was interesting because you ask the audience, hey, what do you know? Show of hands. Have you ever used this? Have you ever used that? And you go in the room thinking that somebody's going to, like, people are just going to be a bunch of newbies. They don't even know how WordPress works. And everybody raises their hand when, like, the most technical thing is asked. And I'm like, oh, good. So we can skip all these slides. Awesome.
Well, this was sort of accidentally on purpose. We didn't really ask any of the speakers for slides, right? So there was no bugging about slides to turn in before your session.
Yeah, that's always bogus. Who does that anyway?
Well, because we don't. This is my take on it. I don't like when people are just reading off of slides in a session. I want the sessions to be interactive.
Yeah. Well, Hawkins was finishing his slides as he was walking up to the podium.
He learned that trick from me.
Steve pioneered that.
Actually, during John Hawkins' thing, when we were doing questions, I raised my hand and I told him something. And when he logged into the back end of his website, I was the only one user who opted out of sit-ups on his app. And it showed 1,500 people, but only one was not whatever. And he goes, I can't believe I came to Orange County to meet the one guy in the same city I live with. Opted out of his app.
People like me opted out of sit-ups by not even ever signing up for the site.
Fair enough.
So I don't do the sit-ups either, but I'm not tabulated anyway. I'm just fat.
But seeing John Hawkins talk about automating and building an autonomous website was fabulous. I think there needs to be more talks like that just say set it and forget it, and WordPress can actually do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was kind of cool.
And it was a good case study too. He showed a product and he showed how to get to that product.
Yeah.
Hey Sarah, how did it feel to be the most popular person on Snapchat in one little location there? How did that go? I'd imagine that people were taking pictures and posting them and stuff, and then tagging, sending them off to you. So how did that go?
Well, I mean, people weren't necessarily sending the photos to me so much, but they were putting them in their stories. They were looking at the Orange County WordCamp story. Last year, what I did was I took a photo of everyone who was speaking and kind of made like a photo composite and put that up as a tweet every time we had a change, and that was effective, I guess, for letting people know what was going on. But at the same time, it also just really bombed the feed for a lot of people. They'd go and look at Twitter, and then it was just like 10 posts from me. So putting it all on Snapchat made it so that people could, keep up with what was going on, but not have to scroll for 10 minutes to get through something. The interface for skipping through things on Snapchat is a lot nicer.
You don't even have to swipe.
Yeah, just tap.
Just tap.
It's like, oh, Steve, done.
Brr, brr.
So,
Did you get the data from the Snapchat filter yet? I love the Snapchat filter data that you get back from them. That's like this many people used it, this many people shared it, this many people viewed the stuff. I don't know if you want to share those stats, but it's satisfying anyway. Looking at the data.
Yeah, I haven't received that info back yet.
Ooh.
Well, speaking of stats, how did that go for you, Dave? Stats-wise, like people signing up, people showing up, people doing that sort of thing. Like, how did you feel about that? Did you feel like you ended up having everyone that signed up actually showed up?
No, I mean you never do on a WordCamp, but we were right within our parameters on it. We had a hard limitation to 300 in the venue. My understanding is that may change if we were to go to the same venue again next year.
When you, not if you, but when you go to the same.
it's a great venue.
But there's always around 10% that either doesn't make it or doesn't show for some reason or another. And we were right in there. We had a little bit of overage for organizers, so I knew that we were in good shape as far as sticking to the 300. But good.
So let's move on to Sunday.
Yeah.
Now Robert can talk.
Ready, Robert, go.
So we had our second annual Plugin-a-Palooza.
So Yep. Kicked off the morning with the business track, which Jeff and I moderated. It was fantastic.
Didgeridoo happening in the background that I'm?
Robert's behind the or under the airport there, so.
Ah.
Yeah, that's on me. I'm sorry.
So,
Gotcha.
so the business track was well attended and very interactive, and we got a lot of really good feedback on that. I was there in that room during the morning. I don't know what was happening in the other rooms. I peeked a little bit, and it seemed well attended. But was anybody else over there?
Oh yeah, yeah. We continued to have a nice play between the asteroid field, the comet, and the dwarf star. We ran the dwarf star all day.
Just saying that was great. Sorry.
Every time you say that, I think of my brain Death Star, so it's very confusing.
And I think Red Dwarf, so it's it's different for everybody.
Nice.
Yeah, we had a nice continuous breakout. We didn't run stuff in the comet or asteroid field in the afternoon. We kind of let it peter out a little bit, which hopefully brought some more folks over to the Plugin-a-Palooza event in the afternoon.
So maybe we should talk about Plugin-a-Palooza.
Yeah. If only we knew who the winners were.
Full circle. Full circle.
That was my first viewing of Plugin-Palooza. I actually thought it was kind of fun. I didn't, full disclosure, didn't really understand what it was because the name isn't very clear and I didn't dig very deep into it. So I was like, yeah, something with plugins, people, something.
It sounds like all the bands, but for plugins.
If only there was a website that fully explained what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't actually get that.
According to Wikipedia, Plugin-a-Palooza is.
What's a palooza?
Have you ever been to Lollapalooza?
No, I mean I know what Lollapalooza is, but I'm saying palooza.
Anyway,
so much in the way that several bands get together into one location and do things, we got multiple plugin authors into one location where they did things.
They competed. For big prizes from security.
So I was one of the judges of Plugin-Palooza, and that was really interesting. It's like I got two smart guys right next to me that are ridiculous, plugin programmers that are just awesome guys, and then you got me in the middle that's just like. Yeah,
so
Blue's kind of cool.
I like mediating between John Brown and Nathan, like fisticuffs in the deliberation room.
Oh my god! So they're killing each other.
By the way, Jason, I meant to ask you a couple questions about that. So stay online after this.
There are no recounts. Sorry.
So it was hosted by Max Headroom. Chris Lema. And so Chris did second time doing it, did a great job, made it really entertaining and fun, and kept it moving along.
Beautiful.
Chris's natural talents come out when he is hosting an event.
Yeah.
I honestly had no idea that it was going to be done in front of an audience because I was like, who's going to care about watching people talk about code? But there was a lot of people in the audience. I was surprised.
Oh yeah, no, it's same response last year, and this year was even bigger and better. It was really cool.
I thought it was really interesting to listen to the different ways that you all described your code and talked about it. I loved John Brown's questions and his descriptions of like good-looking code. I thought that was really cool. But I just like seeing how all of you approached your plugin in such a different way. Not just the concept of what your plugin did, but how you created your plugin and the just all of that. I thought that was really interesting.
I think too, the other thing is, as a plugin developer myself, I always love to hear how other plugin developers come up with their ideas, because I think a lot of people have ideas, but they struggle to implement them. And to see people coming together, I mean, to build these things and showcase kind of how they got to that point was pretty cool for me.
And what I like about it is it encourages people. I mean, they look at a Yahoo like me and say, well, if he can write a plugin, I can write a plugin.
That's exactly what people were thinking, I think.
Again,
Yeah.
the bar, like the golf bar. The
Exactly.
bar is.
I'm Margowsky into the thing.
What
So
I
tell
actually,
us. Oh, go ahead.
what I actually really like about Plugin Palooza is that when you see a plugin on the repo, you don't have an idea of like what's the problem and what are they trying to solve, unless it's named like social media sharing plugin or whatever. So I like hearing that here's the problem I was trying to solve and here's how I got to it, and now you have a better understanding and why you might want to use said plugin instead of just please install it and rate me later.
And so an interesting note about that, one of the rules of Plugin-a-Palooza is to enter, you have to be on the repo within a certain period of time before Plugin-a-Palooza. So it has to be, we are using it to give back to the community ultimately.
I just want to say thank you to Mika for hooking that up, by the way.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
She put it through quickly. I was very pleased.
What I love is, even though it's a competition, it is still about like learning for the audience.
It really was.
And so to turn around from something where you think it'd be antagonistic to something where it's like, oh, we're showing you what we did, it kind of shows how it's about the journey and the destination on the plugin. So
hella deep, man.
Yeah.
And
That
I
was
think, like how
Are you a thought leader?
I think it gives people the
making a list on my hands.
that the things are possible. Like you can have an idea and turn it into something with WordPress. Like that ultimately for me was something that I think people took away.
I'm going to repeat that 3 times because I'm a thought leader. That was something that
the judges' critiques, though, also were very helpful. So listening to you guys talk, you Russ, you Robert, talk about your plugin and how you implemented stuff, I thought was really great. But the outside people looking in at the code was really interesting, and to display that, it just showed it really was educational. So that was the 3rd time repeating that.
And as a judge, it's really hard to judge your friends, your colleagues, your close friends, whatever.
No, I do it all the time.
The people who drive you.
I judge people.
Yeah, but you also pay those people, so you just go, dude, go back to your desk and like go rewrite that code. I don't know what you're thinking, but dude.
So actually, one of the best parts about the entire thing of Plugin Palooza was that Dave Jesh walked up to me after and said, "Hey, you got notes from John Brown. Why don't you implement this into your plugin?" And so now somebody just walked up and helped me make my plugin better.
Yep.
Which is just the definition of the WordPress community.
And
Yep.
Russ, when that happens, we all win.
It's true.
Oh,
But
I
no
really
one won
quick,
as much as Robert and Russell, who got all those prizes.
Dude, when I heard
real quick,
on a TV, I thought, really? Like, we're giving away TVs now? Like, is there a car next? Like, what's going on?
Next is a can of cream of mushroom soup.
Wait, I just real quick,
yeah.
can you tell us real quick, Russ and Robert, who won especially, what was your plugin?
Okay, really quickly, it keeps your Git repo and your staging or live production in sync by disabling plugin updates. That much.
My plugin is more educational, and it shows people all the custom post types or all the post types in their WordPress install, just in case they were wondering how to build custom queries.
It's a good plugin.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the time.
Folks,
Thanks for everyone who
we are
came.
all done. Thank you all for doing what you did and building an awesome WordCamp and having it, nicely executed and everything worked out well and no one died and it was amazing.
And we
Very
didn't
much
even talk
appreciate it.
about the hallway track somehow.
Oh darn! I guess I'll have to go onto the internets and go find that.
Go
Folks,
look
over
it up
to
the hallway track.
WPwatercooler.com, click on the links there to subscribe and check all that stuff out. Hallway track is WPwatercooler.com/hallway track. Folks, you have a good rest of your day. Talk to you later. See you next WordCamp. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's bring this puppy home.